Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a randomized 5-pack build including base game. So if you don't know what the random pack builds are, if you watched any of the videos on YouTube by like the Sim Supply, I think Griffey has also done it. What you do is you take your list of all of your sim games, the expansions and the stuff packs that you own, and then you just copy and paste them into a randomizer. This one at random.org seems to be like the most popular one. So you just go ahead and paste, and I just want to make sure that there's no doubling up on the lines there, because when I tried it before, city living got included with cats and dogs. So, okay, everything looks good there. And then what I'm going to do is I am allowing myself to use base game. So I'm going to randomize this list, and I'm going to pick the top 5 that show up at the top of the list. And those are going to be the expansion or stuff packs that I'm allowed to use plus base game. So you're not allowed to use anything outside of those 5 plus the base game. And I am going to challenge myself to make a 3-bedroom house build. I can't say for sure if it's going to be totally kid-friendly because it depends on what items I get here. So let's go and figure this out. What I have seen other people do is that they randomize the list 3 times. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go randomize 1 and 2. And 3. Okay, so for some reason they skipped a couple of spots here, probably because my list, I had separated them. So here we have the top 5: dine out, city living, outdoor retreat, get to work, and get together. So those are going to be the packs I'm allowed to use. And I'm going to go ahead and jump in the game and start creating this build. So here I am creating the build. And just as a reminder, the 5 packs that I'm allowed to use is dine out, city living, outdoor retreat, get to work, and get together. And actually this build was not that difficult using those 5 packs. Actually, because I used quite a bit of get to work and city living, there was a lot of useful items that I could use. I did have to like correct myself, like, okay, before I get to that part, let me start off by saying that I did create a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. This house is going to be available on the gallery, and I think I'm going to call it Englehart Avenue, and it is $155,294. And the design that I went for was I wanted to try to make it modern because I have yet to make a modern type style house. So this was the test subject. And I'm not good at roofing modern style, so I had to kind of look up a couple of other videos on how to do it. I did see a video on how to do this technique right here, in which you could place a roof on the half wall. I cannot remember the name of the video or the YouTube channel that I watched it, but I will link it down below because I have it bookmarked. So if you're curious on how to place a roof on a half wall, you could do it. Even though I show in my video that I was placing it on the half wall, I did end up nixing that idea because it just didn't look right to me. It just didn't flow right. So I ended up changing that, and you will see me change this roof several times. And I try to edit as much as possible so I don't bore you with all those details. But yeah, I was very indecisive on doing the roof. And the doors and windows, I wanted a very open feel because all the modern home designs I see tend to have very large windows. It's very open looking, where you could pretty much say that the walls are made of glass because there's just so much windows. So I did the best I could with this build to do that. I did have some issues on wondering if whether or not the Sims were going to be able to have privacy because there was just so much openness to it. And because I was very limited on the items that I could use as far as window coverings, there were not very many options that would fit these windows. So I do end up having to enlarge some of the curtains in order to fit it on these larger windows. And then I also had to get a little creative and make my own makeshift shades and curtains, if you will. So originally I wanted to put that little outdoor, I don't know what you call it, just like the trim around the rooftops, but I didn't really like how that looked, so I changed that. And here I wanted to put in some kind of glass kind of walls, and we don't really have glass walls, so I ended up using some windows just to divide up that kitchen and the living room area. I just wanted to break it with something, so I ended up putting some windows there. And here is my second attempt at that roof on the half wall, because in the tutorial of that video, he does explain that your floor plan below where you're placing that has to be completely done, or any changes you make to the floor plan below will delete that roof. And so that's what had happened with the first placement. The roof got deleted. So because as you saw, I was messing around with the floor plan, and then I went back and placed it. And then after doing something else again, it got deleted, and I said, to heck with this. So that's when I decided to nix the idea of using that roof. You will also see me paint the outside of the house several times, just trying to figure out where the blocks of paint, the blocks of color were going to go on this build. Because I've seen variations on the modern builds where sometimes they just do like little sections, little pop-outs of certain colors or textures, or there might be like the whole bottom floor is one color and the top floor is a second color. I kind of did a mix and match of both of those types of paintings or schemes, I guess you could say. But overall, I think that how the end result comes out, it looks nice, and I'm very happy with it. I did go for very neutral kind of colors. Not only on the outside is it kind of outdoorsy, woodsy looking, but the inside is very neutral. But I did incorporate some color in the bathroom and 2 out of 3 of the bedrooms, I should say. So when I built this home, since I did not get Parenthood or the toddler stuff packs, anything that would be, really family oriented, I decided to build this home in mind with either, maybe there's roommates, like 3 or 4 adults could live in this place. Maybe a married couple shares the master bedroom and they're renting out the 2 other bedrooms, or it would be ideal for either teenagers, if you had two teenagers and a mom and dad, or, it could be a single mom or a single dad with 2 teens in the house. And the teen rooms, they could also be young adult, I guess. I did make one room more male oriented and the other room is female oriented. And the male room is kind of small. It turned out that way where it's just kind of small, and the female's room is a little bit larger. And I absolutely love the way that the master bedroom came out. It's my favorite. It's a very open floor plan where there's only half walls to kind of give some privacy for the toilet and the bathtub. It's very open with a fireplace up there. It's super cute. It's always like an idea of mine. I'm renting a house right now, but I have plans on buying a house in the next year or 2. And when I do get my own house, I would love one of those exaggerated large master bedrooms where there's like a fireplace at the foot of the bed, or like the big old bathtubs, jacuzzi tubs, there you go, that they call it in an open bathroom floor plan, I guess you call it. Anyways, we'll talk about that more when we get there. So here I'm just doing a lot of landscaping, and landscaping is, I still don't think I'm very good at landscaping, but my intention here was just to cover up all of the raised foundation, because I really don't like how we can't just paint to match the foundations. Like, I don't see how that is so difficult to give us the option to use wall paints to paint the foundations. It's just, I don't know, it's mind-boggling, but I really hate just having that white foundation showing, so I was doing my best just to cover it up with some plants and flowers. And I am going to start decorating the inside of the house now, and I start with the dining room slash foyer, front entryway, I guess you could call it. I wanted to incorporate a lot of this stone throughout the build, so I do keep this same color of stone throughout all the rooms, except for the bathroom does not have any stone in it. And then you'll see that I made those little window wall dividers, and I think it's super cute. Ideally, it would have been nice if there was a way to just have it be one large window, but it just didn't work out that way. They would be too big, so I had to use these two smaller ones to do it. Actually, that's not true. Maybe I could have done a larger window, but I just like the look of the smaller windows there. And then I just used those little stone columns to match, just to give it a little bit more texture and to, kind of give it something so someone didn't just walk into the glass wall, because that would have been very annoying. So just as a little marker. I mean, this is the Sims we're talking about. It's not the real world. In the real world, you would want some kind of indicator there so someone wouldn't just walk straight into a glass door or glass wall. But I did it more just for texture, I guess. And then I end up doing this a lot in this build with those rugs, where I end up shrinking them down and having to use two in order to get the right square footage, if you will, around the objects that I wanted to use. And this kitchen is so cute. I love the way that it came out, because it has that kind of industrial look, yet it's very clean and sleek looking. And actually, this is one of the very first kitchens I have made in which I did not totally clutter up the counters. And some of you that don't really like all the clutter will appreciate that about this house, because I did want to keep it very sleek and clean looking. Not quite minimalist, because it's a little bit too decorated to be a minimalist, but just to make it very sleek and clean looking, I guess is the only way I could think of it. And I guess that would come from the fact of not having children in the house. Maybe this house really is ideal for a couple of adults living here. So here I'm just putting some of those jars. I think they're peppers, and I put one of each color because I just love the colors of them. And I did forget to put some wine bottles out, but I did not forget to put the wine photo up. So there you go. You can add the wine bottles if you want. I do leave a couple of counters that are open. And when I test played this house, my sim tends to prepare food on the counter right by those little flowers on the half walls. Not sure why. She just prefers that counter. She never uses the one that is by the sink or even the counter in which you can eat at. For some reason, she just uses that one that's kind of by the garbage can and the refrigerator area. This is the family room, living room, whatever you call it. I did not want to put a TV on that wall because of the way that the couches were. It just didn't feel like it was realistic to put the TV above the fireplace. So I ended up having to put it above one of the couches, which would make more sense, so that at least if you sat on one of the sofas, your Sims could watch the TV. They could also watch it from those little sitting chairs there, lounge chairs. And then I do put like a little bench in the window area to make like a little window seat, but I end up having to put two of them there because when I enlarged it, it was way too big and didn't fit properly. So I just end up using two and stacked them on each other just to make them look cute. I didn't really show that in the video because I don't always have time to show everything. That was one of the bathrooms that does have color. I made it navy blue and mostly white, but there was like a little bit of brown there, just mainly like in the picture frames and the windows. That's about it. So this room right here, this is for the male, and I don't show it, but I end up changing that stone that's by the headboard of the bed. I change it back to the rock, the rock stone that I'm using throughout the rest of the build. And then I do take away that flower pot later on, or the flower plant light, whatever you call that thing. I end up putting something else there that looks a little bit more masculine because I thought that the flowers were a little bit too feminine looking. So I was really trying to make this look like a teenager or young adult's male's room. So I stacked a bunch of like electronics on that shelf. Unfortunately, because I shrunk one of the items, it does kind of float on the shelf a little bit and it can't be avoided because if I lower it, then it's like stuck inside the shelf and looks tacky. So this is the teen/young adult girls room, and I love the colors in the room. These are not colors I would ever choose. These are not colors I even like to wear, but it totally worked in this room. So I imagine that the girl that was going to be staying in this room was very artistic. So her room is very loud, very artsy. I did end up putting some painting easel and the stack of like paintings or canvases, I'm not sure what it is, in there to make it look like she's been busy doing her artwork. And then I put a little guitar in there as well so she can practice playing the guitar. I did put some little shelves in there with makeup and nail polish, which I had to be careful to make sure that I was not using packs that were not included in the random pack build. Because I think there was a makeup option, but I think you get more makeup if you use Get Famous, so I had to be careful not to use that one. And actually, for most of my building and decorating here, I did use the filters to set in the packs that I was able to use, plus the base game. That way, I wouldn't even get tempted to look at other items. And so this room has a lot of city living items in it because City Living had a lot of these bright color paintings and the closets and all this kind of stuff that was just really fitting for this room. Those little blinders, the white blinders by the windows, that's from Dine Out. And I do love them because they give a little bit of light. I ended up put this funky yellow and pink light fixture in the room, which it worked out perfect with the color scheme. I don't know how that happened. That was pure accident, but it is really cute and worked out great. So yeah, if you end up downloading this house in the gallery, please go ahead and follow me on Instagram and then tag me in your photos because I would love to see the type of Sims that you move into this house. I'm just curious if you end up making a very artsy kind of girl. I'm curious at what she would look like or whatever. So this is my favorite room of the entire build. And I knew I wanted to put a fireplace in this room. I had the funkiness of that window right there at the foot of the bed that I was trying to deal with. So I wanted the light to be able to come through. I didn't want the fireplace to block it. So I ended up putting that same kind of window theme that I did but downstairs in the kitchen. I ended up using that same kind of window idea on the wall behind the fireplace. So that way the light could shine in through that other window and it still fit in with the style of the home. Here I was trying to figure out what I could use to cover up those windows because curtains were not going to work. So I ended up using these little wood slats and I just put them in a dark brown. Because there's a lot of that dark wood accents throughout the house. So I thought that, well, not throughout the total house, but more on the outside, I guess. But I decided to go ahead and use dark wood in the upstairs bedroom. So it was very fitting. But I didn't want to close up all the windows. I wanted to have some openness. So the one window that is where I put a little bench area with a laundry basket and that kind of stuff. Of course, it's not the laundry day basket. It's the sim base game one where, it's not interactive. So you can't do laundry in this house because laundry day was not included in my random sim packs. So unfortunately, your Sims cannot do laundry unless you choose to put a hamper laundry basket in somewhere in one of the rooms and you place your own washer and dryer. I'm not sure actually where you could end up placing the washer and dryer in this build. I guess you could do it in one of these corners where I placed 2 shelves by that little bench. You could go ahead and do it there, I guess. Maybe I don't recall if I show the building of that little bench area there. But anyways, so in the bathroom area up here, there are these two little shelves, bathroom shelves on the sides, but on both sides of the window that's left open. And you could very well put a washer and dryer in one of those corners, I would think. If not, you could always put a wash tub and the clothesline outside in the backyard. The backyard is very small. I did end up putting a small little like water fountain and like a little gardening area, but I just kind of put the brown gardening soil there, but I didn't really draw anything or place any plants or anything. Anyhow, we're coming towards the end of the build here, and there will be tons of screenshots following. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel so you don't miss anything. Leave your comments down below, and this lot is available in the gallery if you do hashtag SimGemini, or you could follow me by ID SimGemini on the gallery to download this. It's called Englehart Avenue. And I also have the link in the description down below. Check out the links below because I will put the link for that roofing technique plus the red shelf if you're interested. And right there is the little shelves I was talking about where you could put a washer and dryer. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.